Hello, I'm Brian Fitzgerald, the Golf Doctor, and today I'm going to show you some variations on some putting games that is going to make your practice a lot more interesting. So I've just finished doing a series of junior classes, and we all know that juniors don't have the greatest attention span. So in the half-hour classes that I run, we have to keep changing things about every 3 or 4 minutes, otherwise the kids get bored and then that leads to problems. It's no different to adults. When I see some of my clients out there practicing and they're doing what they think is right and they're hitting the same putt over and over and over, it actually gets boring after about 5 minutes, and then you think, why am I here? You lose concentration. So we've got to keep our concentration fresh and sharp. So I would encourage you to incorporate some of these games into your practice routine. Okay, so this first game that I use to practice putting is I use a D-cell battery, and I've also got one of these, there's 2 golf balls with a bar in the middle. They both work quite well. So I've got some alignment sticks here with a yellow section and an orange section. I've got a white section and then a yellow and orange section. So what I get the kids to do, we start with this training aid, is we just put the ball down on the ground, and this encourages a square club face at impact. So if I can try and get this into the white section, that was a terrible putt. My club face closed when I hit it. So if the club face closes, this goes to the left. Then I want to go and try and correct that. Whoops, over correction, it's gone to the right. So of course now I say to the kids that I want the Goldilocks putt. We want it just right. And that worked pretty well. Now you can do the same thing using the D-cell battery. We just don't want to hit it very hard. So get it nice and square to start with. We take our setup. If it goes to the right, same thing. So it's quite effective. So that's the first game I play. So remember, you've only got a few minutes before they get bored, so we've got to keep changing things as often as we can. Okay, so what we have to do with this particular game is we have a slope going from right to left. So I've purposely set this up, and I've set it up fairly generous because I've been dealing with kids aged 6 to 16. A lot of them are smaller than below 10. So I've made it a fairly generous target. But it is a right to left putt, so to get the ball in the hole, they have to try and get the ball between these 2 markers. But if they hit it at the right line at the wrong speed, it goes in. So this is really teaching them 2 things at once. It's teaching you speed control, and it is also teaching you to start the ball on the right line. I encourage people to use the black line on the golf ball. That really does help. I then take my setup and I just try and swing it out to the right. And if I hit it at the right speed, it goes in. If I hit it at the right line at the wrong speed, the ball doesn't have much chance of going in at all. So that was the right line, wrong speed. And that's an important lesson to teach them. So this one is also one of my favourite games because it teaches them a lot. It's called North, South, East and West, and I've got 2 different lengths. So the beauty of this is it teaches the kids to be able to read the green a little bit, because at first glance everyone thinks they're straight. But hidden in here is an uphill putt, a downhill putt, a right to left breaking putt and a left to right breaking putt. And I don't tell them which is which. They've got to figure it out for themselves. So we start by doing the inner circle. So it just gets them used to getting the ball started on the right line. And that one's pretty easy. Most of them get pretty close to hitting that other one. This one gets a bit harder. So they've got to think, oh, hang on, what's going on here? Well, there's a bit of a slope down there from right to left. I've got to aim this one at the right edge of the hole. and the ball went in. And we do go through the whole game. I usually let them have a couple of goes at it, and it's a very good game. It gets them handling pressure. So in this morning's class, the best anyone did was 7 out of 8. And there was a few of them got to that last ball and they missed the last one. So it does work on pressure skills. This one's also a really good one. I've put 3 alignment sticks and then a little piece of string just down there. And just behind you is an electricity little substation at the top there. So what I say to the kids is if the ball doesn't finish inside that square, they get 5,000 volts to their right ankle, and the kids have a great time in trying to do that. So it's actually a good fun thing to do. So we just get them learning to use the swing length to control how far it goes. Uh-oh, 5,000 volts. So they think, okay, I swung that back too far and followed through too far. So then we do the next one and we try and just use it slightly less, and that gets inside. So the only way they can not get 5,000 volts is to do that. In one of the earlier classes, one of the dads decided he was going to stand behind the kid, and if he missed, he was going to tickle him. So it was a bit of a fun variation on that. Okay, so this one's a bit of a similar one to the last one. I've got a 3-foot circle there, and we're about, what it would be, 5 paces away. And there's a cone here with 4 balls, and there's a cone on the other side. So this one's going up the hill with a slight right to left putt, and the other one up there is a downhill putt. So the object is we try and get all 8 balls inside the circle, and that's really good for distance control. So we've got to aim it in the right position, little right to lefter, and that one went in. Then we would do the same thing after hitting 4 of those. We do the same thing from the opposite direction. So here we are at the opposite end. So it's the same distance, but this time we've got a bit of a left to right break, and it's slightly down the hill. So it does feel a little bit different. So we've got to make sure we aim this slightly left. It is downhill, so it rolls out a little bit more, and that's the way we work on that one. And that brings us to the final game for today's session. And it's a game called Killer. So I always explain to the kids it's a computer game. Kids always love computer games. We have 5 different levels, and then we have 6 lives. So we have to start at the first level, and of course to pass that level we've got to get it in the hole. So then we move all of the lives back, and we go to level 3. I said level 3, I can't count. We go back to level 2. Still have to aim everything correctly, think about what we're doing. If we start getting on autopilot, we lose concentration and we miss. So I'll pretend that we've gone back here to level 5 and we haven't lost a life. Just set it up, aiming just left of the cup. Got it in, so that's good. Now we get to the point where we might start feeling a little bit of tension because we really want to pass this game, and you might even have a little drink off to the side that if you pass the game, you can then have a sip of drink. So it's a warm day, I wouldn't mind a bit of a sip of drink. So I've got to concentrate. And got it in. I'm very happy with that. So there you have it. There's some games that you can implement into your practice. It has several benefits. One is it makes putting a lot more fun. Use your imagination. You know, come up with exploding things. If you don't pass a game, that you get 5,000 volts on your ankle. Some of the kids, I say, if you don't get this putt, the world is going to explode in front of you. Use a bit of imagination, try and make it as fun as you can. But every single one of these, of those 6 games, 5 of them were working on the speed. And speed is one of the most important variables in putting. Because to get the ball in the hole, we need to, first of all, be able to read the green. Secondly, be able to start the ball in the right direction. And thirdly, we then have to hit the ball at the right speed. Now, the most important one is speed. To get the ball in the hole, you need all three things right. But if I was going to get one of them wrong, I wouldn't want that one to be wrong to be speed. If I hit it at the wrong line and I hit it at the right speed, at least I'm going to have a short one coming back. If I hit it at the right line with the wrong speed, there's no chance of having, or there's very little chance of me getting the one in return, depending on how far past I hit. So it does that, and we just want to vary it as much as we can, and we don't want to get bored. As soon as you feel bored, you've got to change something. So there you have it. If this is your first time to this channel, I hope you enjoyed it. And if you'd like to improve your golf, hit the subscribe button, click the bell notification, and then you're on your way. So I'm Brian Fitzgerald, the Golf Doctor, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.